Hi friends, it's Sarah from Plan Sarah Plan, and today I'm setting up May in my Erin Condren budget book. As usual, I will be using a beautiful kit from Saray Plans, who is the queen of the A5 budget book, in my opinion. And I have made an add-on kit like I had done last month and just sort of tweaked this to be completely customized to what I need in my budget. I'm going to kick off this with a celebration of paydays, okay? Great. So now that that's done, I also have a confession to make. I have tweaked these Erin Condren customizable undated calendars so that I have a wonderful May calendar. Here's what mine looks like now. They come like this. They're very plain and easy to dress up if you so choose. So I will be using this. Now, because Saray's kit comes with this beautiful lilac color in part of the scheme, I have decided that this is a little bit too bland and I'm going to swap out my peach colored numbers for these lilac numbers. I've got this little Cricut spatula thing, and it is so great for removing stickers as long as they are not permanent adhesive. So pardon me while I just lift these little dates off. That is a lovely color combination. I'm really more happy with that than I was with just all peach. Okay, so in the budget book, the color scheme is not the same as in the life planner. So I like to adapt this little part at the top to go with whatever kit that I'm using from Saray Plans. So the first thing I'm going to do is just cover up this lovely green because it's just not what I want. There we go. So at this point, it's probably a good idea for me to let you know this is not a number crunching budget setup. This is a beautiful sticker with me budget setup because that makes all the budgeting and the bill paying and all of that far less intimidating to me. I don't know why, but you get it. If you are in the planner community, you get it. So we're going to carry on and decorate with, first of all, Saray stickers, and then I will figure out how I want to incorporate this because it's pretty tall. Probably will have to trim it. These three circles are where you will typically put, if you choose to do it this way, 3 financial goals for the month, and that's what I'm going to do. Or kind of money management habit goals. That works pretty well for me. And you will be able to rate yourself out of 3 stars, and that just kind of makes it fun. You've got these little star stickers somewhere right here that you can shade in depending on how well you do on these 3 goals. So I'll put those on after I've written in what I want my goals to be. Next up, I will be putting that calendar here. And since we have this stray date up here and then a two days left at the bottom of the month, I couldn't trim off a whole row like I did last month. So what I believe I'll do is kind of see if I move this right up under the circles. I think all I have to do is trim off this, and the 30th and the 31st will just be short. And then I'm just not loving these blank spots, so I will cover that up with a little bit of washi tape that is in a peach color. Saray's kit is more on the pink side, but I think these blend pretty well together. Because the boxes that are printed on the page are wider than this calendar, what I did last month was to simply frame that out with some washi tape. Before I put the calendar down, I actually want to put this beautiful floral washi that's in Saray's kit up here at the top, and I will err on the side of going above it since that calendar is going to poke above a little bit. And this will just kind of peek out the top. And if I line this up with the bottom of the page, we'll see some of that. Okay, good. And then I'll place the washi before I do the calendar. Okay. And then with this calendar, it's extremely sticky and it comes with 2 pieces of backing, so I recommend just peeling off one at a time. So it's a little bit less hazardous if you start to misplace it. Yeah, I think that's going to be about right. There we are. Here's the May header, and that is just as spring-like and beautiful as you can get. And FYI, if you want any of these stickers, use my code in Saray's shop, which is Sarah20, Sarah with an H, and then 20. And that will save you a little bit. And her handwriting is so pretty. You get her handwriting on your package, and when you see that in your mailbox, you're just gonna think, oh, look at that, it's gorgeous. On this side of the page, I do a checklist for bills that are due this month, and you have the perfect header for that in the kit. And I recommend when you write down the bills, if you've been using sticker kits, go ahead and just put one page against your desk, and that's just easier to write so that you don't have the unevenness of the stickers behind you. I shared this tip last month and I think it was helpful for some people. Take a picture of the bills that you had the previous month if they're the same every month, so you don't have to keep flipping back, and that way you can just leave your paper like this and copy from your phone. There we are, and if you're wondering, I was using my Erin Condren gold gel pen, which feels so good, and this stencil from Erin Condren also. Down on this bottom margin, I like to put gifts and remember, and I think actually I will use her yellow strips for that. These are just blank headers from the kit. And gifts is one of the scripts that is included, and also remember. Under the remember, I use her habit tracking chart, which you could also use as a calendar, I think, if you wanted to. And what I put here is log transactions, so I just check that off when I, at the end of the day, kind of just make a note of whatever was spent. And then over here, I will just put birthdays and anniversaries. So this spread is done, and we'll move on now to the category spending, and I will put us on time lapse and play some music for this. At this point, what I will do is transfer the items that go under these categories from last month. So again, I recommend just taking a picture of what you did the previous month so that you don't have to flip back and forth. And with that done, we will move on to the next page, which is where we log transactions. Okay, different outfit, different jewelry. It's a different day. So I am gonna pick up where I left off and put my spending here, which is really my transaction log. This is where I'm going to spend all of my time each day logging daily transactions so I stay on top of it. So we're gonna do, instead of budget by pay period, which I could do, honestly, Saray's kit says budget by pay period. I could actually use that, that would be fine. But I actually budget by the first and second half of the month instead of by pay period. So I just made my own headers to reflect that. And what I do in the evening is just pull up our accounts online and treat this kind of like a checkbook register. And I don't keep a running balance on this. I just keep track. Whoops, this is not what I want. I don't keep a running balance on this. I just keep track of expenses. All right, so I'm gonna use one of my stickers, one of Saray's stickers on this spread. And she's got, here we go. So we'll do one yellow from Saray and one purple from Saray. Maybe I'll mix it up. Let's put this over here because mine turned out kind of peach. I didn't match it up as well as I wanted to, but it's okay. It's all like springy colors. And then we'll do her yellow header. It says exactly the same thing, which is date, expense, category, and amount. And the category totaling up is what I'm going to use my new adding machine for. And did you watch my adding machine review video, sort of a review, where I talked about the attributes of two different adding machines, and one I bought because it was cute and another I bought because it was highly recommended. And I will reveal which one I decided to go with. Oh my goodness! I put the second half over there. Tell me not to talk while I'm planning. I think you all saw me do that, right? You were trying to stop me. But I was just talking and talking and talking, and I don't even know if this is going to stick now. I removed it, and it is sticky sticker paper because it's kind of vinyl. I ran out of my removable and printed on this vinyl sticker paper. So I think that worked. Okay, so we have another one of these expense headers, and there's another component to this, which I'll show you as soon as I place these two headers. So this is just from the 16th of the month to the end of the month on this spread. The page before this was for the 1st of the month to the 15th of the month. Whoopsie. And I also, because Saray thought of this, I mean, everything I'm doing, I'm just kind of bouncing off of Saray's ideas. I didn't really come up with anything original here other than customizing it to fit my needs. But what we do also is keep track in this same time period of any bills that we budgeted for and paid. So this log from here to about here is going to be things like stopping at the gas station, getting a cup of coffee, groceries, all that good stuff, just regular expenses that are not your monthly bills. Here, from about this point down, it's not an exact science, but I have approximately this many bills that I will be paying. Would you look at that? Not straight. I have about that many bills that I will be paying for half of the month. And I'm not going to be able to pay them right if that sticker isn't straight. Okay, so then back here, we'll backtrack and get the matching yellow for the bills, which is this one. And I don't like to pile up my stickers in exactly the same spot. I like to kind of stagger them slightly so that I don't get a huge mountain of accumulated thickness where a sticker goes every single month. Okay, and then on the last spread, you get one more spread, where it says spending summary. What I do here is, you could do sinking funds, but I do my savings accounts. And made my own little header for that. And it seems like this month, maybe it's the way I printed it, but it's not tall enough because I've got just a little bit of the color from the page sticking out on the top, and it matches, so it's not that big a deal. But if this had not been a match, then that would be a bummer. So what I do is I put this header here that says date, description, amount plus or minus, and balance. So I just keep a running log of my savings accounts. And then I put the name or number of that savings account. And I put that under here so I know which account I'm keeping track of. And then I count 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the next header goes here. So I really should probably stagger that a little bit too, but I just like it to be spaced out evenly. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the exact same setup, same header. It's just going to be split up for 4 different savings accounts. I don't do a lot of withdrawing and adding to my savings accounts, so I only need a handful of lines. I'll pretend like I didn't rip that paper just now. Okay, so what I need to ask at this point, because this is just the right month to be asking about this, is do you guys set aside money for your new planner? And do you get a new planner at this time of year? 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I do plan on the academic year since I am a piano teacher, and that just works better for me. And at the end of the year, because I use the binder, I can actually store my pages or archive my pages on the calendar year. But I can, when the planner is in use, keep it on the academic year. For that matter, I can just keep it on a 6-month basis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if you're like me, your planner expense is not a small expense. So it's something that, you know, if your birthday's in May, you can just go to town. You have a huge excuse. Maybe we can call it a Mother's Day expense, huh? Those of us who, I don't even have kids at home, okay? But I mean, that is a holiday, so technically that could be a Mother's Day gift to myself. So I went to see my mom today, and she just went gaga over my new A5 planner from Erin Condren. She went nuts. Now, what do I do here? I forget. It's where I total up stuff. Totals. Here we go. She went gaga, and I said, now, Mom, this comes in, the one I showed her was mid-century circles. I said, Mom, this comes in 3 other colors. You can get mid-century circles, or you can get blush, or gold, or camel. She wants the blush. She's become a big fan of pink, and she wants blush. I said, now, Mom, do you want Flora, just my type, or MCC? And she had no clue what I was talking about. She said, you pick. You pick. I don't care. And maybe she will care. I don't know. But you can have any of those in the A5 agenda. So I will have to choose for her. And of course, my mom will be using my affiliate link. Thank you, Mama. All right, so we've got this, and this is so pretty. I missed it since yesterday when I started filming. I forgot how colorful, and that was an accident. So it just happened to look good. All right, so we've got, this is where I will put my totals. I should probably, if I were a good budgeter, which I'm not, put my budget amount, my limit. This is what you're allowed to spend on groceries and on cleaning products, etc. but this is actually where I just put all my totals after I total them up. This is kind of just like where I keep tabs on everything. This is where I log savings account stuff, and this is where I can total up my categories. Now, since we've done all this, we haven't added the decor yet. Let's do that. Then I'm going to reveal the adding machine. All right, so where do we want to put this beautiful stuff? We have not a lot of room here for it, although Hello May might look nice there. Let's do that. Hello May. And Saray, these are, so, look at that one. Tulips in a little teacup planter. Just really, really pretty. That's beautiful. And I don't really have room over here. I could put it here. Let's put it right there. And we have some butterflies. Let's make our transactions more happy. So let's do like a butterfly there and some, is this lavender or a lilac? I don't know what this is, but it's pretty. Then we have one to go the other direction too, but I want to save that and use that on the other transaction page. We'll just put a little something there. That looks like a pink dogwood. Am I correct, Saray? Is that a pink dogwood? And then let's go over here and do this here, and a little butterfly, and a pink dogwood. And on the last page, we'll put this basket of tulips that says, "Good job on your budget. Here are some tulips." And we have one more little flower, so I can put that over here. Okay. So now that we've done that, we have these 3 stars. So I want to set my 3 goals, and I haven't forgotten, I need to show you the adding machine. All right, so my 3 goals are going to be, don't be a slacker, don't be afraid of doing your taxes, and all the don'ts. How about be vigilant, be rich. Okay, let me think about this. Here's what I settled on. Joyfully complete your taxes. Reduce grocery spending. Total up your categories. That's something I dread. But now that I have an adding machine, I shouldn't dread it so much. And we've got 3 stars here, so we can shade in the score. How well we did on that. And there. And then I did notice the other sheet from Saray had some deco on it that I haven't used yet. So this looks like another dogwood branch. And you know, dogwood is the state flower of Virginia, where I am. And I think that is absolutely lovely. And you know, Saray sent me some washi tape one time just as a sweet surprise gift, and the washi tape had red cardinals on it. And she had no idea that the cardinal is the state bird of Virginia. She just knew that I liked birds. My husband and I are bird watching nuts. And so that was a fun coincidence. And here we have the state flower of Virginia. So she has done it again. And all right, we have one more little dogwood flower. And I'm torn. Go ahead and shout out where you think it should go, because I have no idea. We're going here. Okay, so you ready to see the adding machine? Here she is. I went with the highly rated one over the cute one. Even though the cute one was decent and it was a better price, the comments overwhelmingly were in favor of keeping this. Some former accountants or present accountants, bookkeepers said, I use one of these at work and it's great. It'll last forever. So this is the one that I went with. My only complaint about this over the other was that it came with such a teeny tiny roll of paper tape. I mean, come on. If you're going to spend money on, I mean, it wasn't an enormous expense, but it was expensive enough that I think a full roll of paper was in order. But if I'm not mistaken, they sell this stuff at the drugstore. So anyway, I haven't used it since when I did my review. I've used it once since then. And I know when you turn it on, you go over here to the P to get a printout, and you go to the P.IC to get a printout plus an item count. And I just want, maybe I want an item count. Let's do that. Okay, so I'm gonna put it on time lapse so it looks like I'm super duper fast at this. And I'm going to add up my grocery spending for April, okay? So our grocery tab was less than it was last month, but we still have room for improvement there. So I'm glad that I made that one of my goals. And so let's see here where I'm going to see that. Okay, so we reduce grocery spending. We did have a little bit of extra grocery spending this month just around Easter time, but I think we can do better. And I've just learned how to use Kroger ClickList, so I think that's going to be my friend. So if you're interested in the adding machine, it is the Sharp EL1801V, and it's very easy to use after you kind of know the difference between a calculator and an adding machine. So before we say goodbye, let's add a little bit more deco on these pages. And I've got some of my Erin Condren budget stickers and some just Happy Planner budget stickers. So let's just add a little bit more stuff to this. And now I feel happy with this. The stickers make it more friendly. And so I will, just to recap, I will check off each of these bills as they are paid. And this just helps me to not overlook something. I will shade in a box whenever I log my transactions for the day. I've got birthdays and anniversaries over here. This is kind of my payday calendar as well as just a reference calendar, my 3 goals for the month. And this is where I will put my budget totals and kind of figure out whether we were in the hole or saved money this month, that sort of thing at the end. And then I will just simply log transactions, log bills that were paid for the 1st through the 15th, and then do the same thing for the 16th through the end of the month here. Transactions, bills that were paid, and then I will keep a running balance and log any changes in our savings accounts. And then total up, this will be a workspace where I total up different categories on the last page. And that's it. It goes into June after that. So thank you all so much for joining me. This again is my A5 Erin Condren budget book. And it's the one budget book I've ever used that I've been really consistent with. And I highly recommend this. So I'm really happy that I've done 4 months faithfully in here, and I don't see any reason why I won't do that all the way through the year. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I hope to see you more next week. It's Erin Condren launch week next week, and so I will be online quite a bit. And so let's stay in touch, and I appreciate you so much for spending time with me. Bye-bye.